Today I'm finally doing something that I should have done a long time ago, and that is give you guys a full interior tour of my 1996 Newell that was originally owned by Unser Jr. and then Robby Gordon, and then the CEO of Red Bull. Excuse the outside being dirty. I haven't gotten it washed since my last trip. First, you got this giant door. It's like a vault. And like, these things are super solid. It's all aluminum siding. Has like a little doorbell thingy that'll actually ring in there. We'll check that out later. But these door handles are actually from like a 70s or 80s Crown Victoria or something, I think I was told. So this is kind of the first thing you see when you open the door and walk in, is just this obnoxious zebra print upholstery dinette, which I think is like the coolest thing ever. I don't know, what do you think about it? Let me leave you a comment and let me know. But it's kind of funny because like probably 4 out of every 5 females that sees this thinks it's awesome, and the 5th one thinks it's weird, but you know, the other 4 liked it, so don't matter to me. It's a mid-entry, so you can go that way, or you can go that way to state the obvious. These 2 chairs, you kind of sit in there, and this one, the passenger seat, it has a seatbelt and stuff, but it actually spins around, so it can do both. This is a no-slide coach, and it has a lot of room. You can see kind of here. You know, there's a good bit of room on the floor. You could put an air mattress there if you needed to. That jackknifes out and do a bed. Up here in the driver's area, you got some gauges that look like they came out of like a 1975 Soviet troop transporter. And this sick horn, we're gonna play with that later. But big old bus driver steering wheel. It's like freaking 20 inches across or something like that. You know, you got your typical fast idle switch, battery merge, all that stuff. A little reading light, and that is part of the intercom for the rest of it. Like whenever you poke that button out there, it all rings. Sconce light things. I put RGB LEDs up in there, and you'll kind of see that throughout. Bear with me here, just want to let you know these LEDs are not like permanently installed. I just kind of got them and I laid them out where I thought I would like them, and I'm just kind of like giving them a test run to see if I like the way they're illuminated, you know, how they're kind of oriented. So then I'll go in and like drill holes and wire it up, like solder the pieces, and I'll do it all right so they're hidden and you can't see them. I'm just kind of mocking it up right now. Yeah, I got them laid up through there and through there, and so you guys have to shove it through the door because there's no hole there. This is where I do all my stuff, all my editing and eating. I only sit there. I never sit over there. I don't know why, but that's my spot. So that's just how it is. The floor is actually granite, which is pretty awesome. You can see that a little better. This is a 1996. So it was built in 1995 because they're always a model year ahead. And Al originally ordered this thing. He got a new one every year because he was like on a deal with Newell. And I actually met up with Unser Jr. in Indy about a month ago, and he came in here and checked it out, and you know, we talked about it. I didn't make a video because I just met the guy. I don't want to stick a camera in his face, but big thanks to Mark Martin for setting up that connection. I was originally talking to Mark, who I've also gotten to know and communicate with pretty regularly since I got this thing, because he's a huge RV nerd as well. You should check out his Instagram if you're a fan of that stuff. This is not the original paint job. Robby Gordon had this thing painted to look like this. He told me that because I talked to him on the phone about it too. Side note, it's crazy the connections this thing has opened up, but anyway, we'll get back to that. I wanted to know what this thing used to look like, and I asked Mark if he thought, you know, Al would have any pictures of it or something, and he's like, I don't know, I don't really talk to Al that much anymore, and he just sent me his contact, like over iMessage, and I'm like, am I really qualified to just text this man out of the blue? Like, hey Al, it's some random kid. I got your old Newell. Was wondering if you had any pictures of it from back in the day. Thanks. Like, and he replied. He was super cool, and he was like, yeah, if you're ever in town, let me know if I can check it out. So we did, and that was awesome. Al's a super cool guy, and he had some really cool stories about this thing. But anyway, moving on. You got like all your switches and stuff here, like your master 12 volt will shut all that stuff off. I only have all these lights on because I'm filming. Normally I don't run anything but like the LEDs because I'm like freaking caveman in here, I guess. But you know, you got all that stuff there. Yeah, these are like Korean countertops. Yeah, you see what I mean about the LEDs being temporary. I have it run up through there, and then down through here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll drill a hole in there or down there somewhere and get it through this wall, and then come in back under there so it's underlit. But you might be wondering what these little elbow things are for, and I took them out just so it wouldn't obstruct the primary view of this thing when you first walked in. But the old guy I got this from actually figured out that they fit in here and you can point the AC. So I'm gonna put those back in because I'm sweaty. I am from the north, I'm from Pennsylvania, and this is Texas. It's hot, so I'm basically sweaty all the time. The AC is always cranking in here, and it works pretty well, even though I do need to repair the front unit and the rear unit. They just kind of blow ambient air. So all I got working right now is the center one here and the roof one that Robby Gordon put on, and they do a sufficient job of cooling this thing even when it's 100 degrees outside. Got a residential fridge with this special limited edition hole drilled in it by Robby Gordon, I guess, to put a padlock in here. That was part of his stories from this thing. Here's your thermostat for the center unit. You got your inverter display there. You know, food storage in here. I have the ice maker and the water shut off just because I'm paranoid about things leaking. But you know, there's plenty of room up here for one person. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't even use the whole thing. I was kind of iffy about getting an on-slide unit just because, you know, bigger's always better, and I need to have slides because they're cool, and you know. But this thing came up, it was a great deal for what it was. And once I kind of went and checked out, I'm like, you know, I don't really need slides. Which one, if they're not there, they can't break, which means I don't have to pay to fix them, and I can't get stuck somewhere if it gets stuck out. So it's pretty awesome. You know, you just pull in, you know, pull the parking brake, and I can come back here and, you know, make a sandwich, edit, whatever, a truck stop. I don't have to, like, you know, open up and all that to get to do my thing. Now let's head out to the back and I'll show you that part. You got more controls up here. This one, the tank out version, doesn't, like, the outside thermostat doesn't work. This shows you your water level, waste level, propane. It only has propane for that. It doesn't run the fridge, which kind of stinks, because that means I have to be plugged in or have the generator running basically all the time to keep my stuff cold. Otherwise, you know, there's only a certain amount of time you can run off the inverter for the chassis batteries. But you know, it's got a motorized step cover. I never actually even use this, but it does work. Light switches here, water pumps, the exhaust fans. One of them is up there that'll pull air out of the shower / out of here if you're like cooking or something. And the other one used to be where that roof unit is, but whenever Robby Gordon or had his people put that in there, or he put it in there or whatever, they just decided to use the hole that was already in the roof. If you take a big old bonsai dump in there, you better open the window because there's no exhaust vent to get it out. Which also, I need to fix the toilet, so I don't use it. This microwave has been updated before, but the fridge hasn't. That's the original fridge. And then here, it's your stacked washer dryer. I use these all the time. It's great. And your air powered pocket door. That, oh, yep, that happens sometimes too. You gotta readjust the air duct there. Yeah. Good chow. Moving back here. Obviously the old pooper is out of order because somebody, Brian Reed, came in here at an SCT race and he was like, how come your toilet doesn't flush right? And I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, I'm like, did you poop in the toilet? And he's like, yeah. I was like, bro, it doesn't flush. So that was a bit of an episode, but we'll check this out anyway. This is what it would look like if I actually used it. You got a thermostat in here for a heater, and you know, toilet, whatever. I forget it's there sometimes because I've had this thing for 2 months, never used it. You got a closet in here. I hang my towel, suitcase, extra clothes, that kind of stuff. And you got another walk-in closet back there. We'll get to that. The shower, it has more headroom than a lot of Prevost showers, but like I've mentioned in some of my other videos, how something to note is where the floor actually is. It's raised just a little bit over the actual floor. When I'm standing up in there, if I'm like, you know, perfect posture, standing up straight, I'm like touching the roof. But typically when you're taking a shower, you're not doing that anyway, so I don't really notice it. But that's one thing. I wish it were like 6 inches higher and the shower head were up higher too, so I could stand straight up and have the water come over me instead of having to like duck to get under it. But I got to do that at, you know, hotels and stuff too, because everything's built for short people. Speaking of short people and extra headroom, the rear half actually has a raised roof. You can see it bumps up there, and on the outside it slopes up. That was a new feature for this model year. I think this is probably one of the first ones that had that, because it was a significant memory of Al's. This is the first one he had that did that. This is the bed. This is where you do it for Dale. And yes, if you haven't noticed, the mattress is round. And no, it's not like that to be like kinky or something. It's round so you can get around it easily. Like, there's no problem walking around this thing. Even though there is no slide back here, it's not an inconvenience. And even this being round helps too, as well as it being a design cue. You got some more freaky zebra upholstery on the headboard, equipped with a mirror so you can, you know, fill in your imagination there. And this is the walk-in closet. The carpet is out right now from when I had to get to the engine during my roadside escapade disaster, which is in a separate video. You should check that out. In here is pretty neat. There's like a little clock, and you got your dinosaur TV in here. And the only reason, I'm pretty sure the only reason this is still in here is because it's like built into the cabinetry, and you can't like get it out without tearing all of this apart or like taking the shelf out or something. I don't know. I don't use it. I don't even use the TV in the front, so like I don't really care. And back here you got heater, thermostat, AC. And in there, this has hooks in it because it was originally like a hamper, so you could just throw your dirty laundry in there and then get your stuff out down there. But you know, you got drawers on both sides of the bed. I put some more LEDs up there. I don't mind that janky strip. That's gonna be a part where it will go under the lip of that sink, and I'll find a way to hide the wire through the back side of that leather wrapped fascia up into there, and also wire it in to have a strip up here too, so it's all off of one thing, because I don't want to be like clicking 18 different transponders with one remote. I want to do it like basically front lights, rear lights kind of thing. And you get the same matching Corian countertops for everything. These are actually wrapped in leather. So is this. So is the freaking roof, actually, which is like freaking bougie. The whole thing's leather. You know, granite. The granite floor continues through there, and you got this nice little swoopy thing in here. And that's something about Newell's that is kind of like their thing, is you won't find a lot of hard edges. They're gonna radius everything. So like at the end of a cabinet, it's gonna be round. Like, you'll find horizontal corners, but you won't find vertical corners so much. I mean, even here, this is radiused, and it's all got this nice like gloss gray laminate on the hardwood. Like all these, that's all rock solid. Everything is. None of this is like particle board, typical RV stuff. This thing is like the real deal. Under the bed is also where the central vac hose is stored, which is down here. There's an integrated central vac system, and you know, you can control the lights, and this pocket door is air powered from this side too. This trim on the ceiling, it kind of is interesting because it looks like forged carbon. I know it's not real. Like, I don't know what it is or what they were trying to go for. Forged carbon wasn't a thing. It wasn't like a trendy thing in 1995. So I don't know if this was like some kind of imitation marble or something. I'm sure one of you you know, one of you people out there who's generations older than me could tell me what that's all about, because I'm 24 and I just don't know. But it matches the floor really well. This interior is original to when it was new in 95, 96. However, I have not been able to confirm if the zebra is original or not. I don't know if it was, or if Robby Gordon put that in there because he's a freaking pimp, or what. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he did, but if he didn't, you know, Al Jr. is a pretty pimpin' dude also, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was original. I like it, and I'm a pimp too, so you know the deal. When I was at the Newell factory, Jessica over there actually dug into the archives and found the original blueprint for this thing, so let's check that out real quick. Looking at this really helped me decode what was original and what was not. You can see everything's really well explained in here. Designed for, used to say Al Unser Jr., but even though I know what it says and I looked at the original one of this, they're not, I guess, legally allowed to give it to me unless they take the person's name off of there, even though in the owner's manual it has his name on it still. And side note, it's coach number 402, which I think is pretty funny because my number of everything is 42. It's a nice coincidence, kind of a little universe nod right there. But you can see old dinosaur TV right there. Nice round bed. They call this leather wrapped piece like a phantom wall or something. Sunroof sliding cover, shower. Something that was original that is no longer there is like this glasses cabinet thing, like right here. You see there's like a circle. That used to be like a round like thing kind of similar to that. You can see Amana built-in refrigerator. It's still an Amana refrigerator, so that's the original one. 2 recliners, they're still there. VCR. You had your old school dinosaur TV right there too. And you can see what they did. I suspect Robby had this thing taken back to Newell and kind of updated at some point. Well, he told me he did, but I don't know. It was probably him that did this. He didn't get that specific, but you can see that it's kind of not symmetrical like that to fit the bigger TV. But under there, it is. So all they did is they took these 3 cabinets, made one side into 2, and had it come down the whole way to fit the bigger flat screen up there. 7-inch high-rise roof. As the years went on, I don't know what year it exactly was, but at some point they made it so you could do the raised roof all the way to the front. I think it may have been 97 actually, because Mark Martin's old one has the raised roof all the way to the front. And I actually found that one for sale months before I bought this one, but I didn't have my trailer or anything sold yet, so I couldn't go buy it. But how ironic would that have been if I ended up with his old one? Old stuff. Yeah, see, Unser Jr. Al Unser Jr. had like 15 different Newells or something. Like, he got a new one, sometimes it wasn't even once a year. He got a new one, he'd always have a new one. This manual is so old that it still lists stuff for the freaking 2-stroke 8V92, which, if you know what those are, you're a real G. You're a Newell. Nice typo. Oh, something that's pretty hilarious in this thing is, this is not super uncommon, but it's not well known that it's really done that way either. This only has 1 holding tank. So your black water and your gray water, or for those of you who don't know what that is, your poop water and your shower water or sink water go into the same tank, where typically the toilet has its own tank. This is only 1. And there's an air operated dump valve that you can control from the dashboard. And there's instructions in here on how to dump it while you're driving. This thing was actually literally designed to dump poo water on the highway. Like, it even says in here, I'm pretty sure, like, don't do if there's people behind you. Please exercise caution and courtesy. Never dump your holding tank where it will be a health threat or offensive to anyone else. Like, dude, 1995 was a different world. About this little horn thingy here, it plays songs. Like, there's a book. This is original factory equipment too. There's this book in here, and it has all kinds, like literally 99 songs in here that you can pick from by like picking a number on there like a jukebox. And it is loud. However, really the only one I ever use is the national anthem, because that's the only one you need if you ask me. And just for demonstration purposes, I'm 6'5". I'm in the front section where the roof is not raised. And I have a good bit of headroom in here, more than a fist's worth, which is not a ton, but it's a lot more than I have in a comparable Prevost XL of a similar year. Now, if you go to the back, I got all kinds of headroom. So ideally, the next one is I upgrade to, you know, in like a year or two, would have the raised roof the whole way to the front, because back here, I'm freaking swimming in headroom. Like, I don't even hit my head on the fan. Now, as far as me actually buying this thing, like how I did that, being 24, it's actually a really interesting story, and a lot of cool things kind of stacked up. Really awesome circumstances went my way in order to have this happen. Just like freak stuff that you can't really plan for. So that's a really awesome story. I'm gonna film that now, and that'll be a separate video that's gonna come out in the next few days here. So go ahead to my channel page, hit that subscribe button, and check out some other videos while you're there. Eventually I'll do an outside tour video, like going over all the bays and stuff whenever it's clean, but it's not clean right now, so I'm not gonna do that, and you're just gonna have to wait.